And when you are sick, you need stuffed chicken.
Yes.
Stuffed chicken breast, right? So we brought in
there
Chef
you go.
Robert Salizza. He's back from City Dock Restaurant. And thank you for joining us. You must have a million stuffed chicken recipes.
Yes.
I tried the Borson chicken at home, and my husband said it was the best thing I ever made.
Terrific.
So now I'm looking forward to this could be dinner tonight there, Kev.
You're not thinking of doing your own show, are you?
No way. Okay. No way. I don't have the jokes. I don't have the stories. I don't have the culinary skills. I like to just come hang out with you and be your wingman.
Okay. What I'm doing now is going ahead and sauteing the mushrooms. I'll go ahead and I've got ham. I've got, of course, the mushrooms, salt and pepper, paprika, a little bit of sugar, coarse brown breadcrumbs from Italian bread and mixed breads that we have at the hotel. Of course, the chicken breast, and I went ahead and made it ahead of time so I can go ahead and show you how the completed product. Now, when you put ham in, be very careful because ham's got a water base to it, so it's going to make like it's going to be popcorn pretty soon.
Okay.
Salt and pepper, a little bit of sugar.
Now, what's that for? What's the why? I'm surprised to see a little sugar going in there.
Well, it's going to give it a little bit of better flavor because I've got less sugar. I've got the sauce going over here, the cherry sauce that I'm going to put with wine.
Wow.
And sometimes, you know, cherries are a little bit bitter.
Okay.
You know, so that's why I did it like that.
Okay.
And I'll cook this together till it gets to a point where it's down and I can work with it. I'll put the breadcrumbs in last because you're saying, boy, you have a lot of butter. But once I put that in, it's going to...
That's exactly what I was thinking.
There you go.
This is the one thing that didn't go right when I made your Borson chicken was how to, like, butterfly the chicken. I opened it up once, but it wasn't successful in doing it again.
Just go... You're going to see you have a low point on the breast, and then it starts... That's where you put your knife, on the low point. And then just go across, pressing down with your hand, and then you bring it over, and there it is.
Okay.
It's not that hard.
Try that again. Oh, you had to throw that in there, did you? Yep. I'll have to give that another try. All right, here comes the real technique, rolling it up. Just
try to remember to fold it in.
Oh.
And then just roll it over.
That's not what I did.
And then if it doesn't, if it wants to loosen up by itself.
I just started rolling it left to right.
Okay, well, we'll start again. Next week we'll go back to phase one.
I mentioned he said it was the best thing I ever made, so presentation wasn't a problem.
You know, when I was doing this in Italy, I made it, I was talking to my aunt and uncle, and they were telling me how that one day they were on the beach and they found this like a lantern, you know, something. I said, wow. And they thought it was like, you know, you rub it and something. Genie's gonna, well, it did. They rubbed it and out popped the genie and said, I'm going to give you each one wish. So my aunt, of course, she said, I'm going to go ahead and take a trip around the world. So he said, okay, and next minute, there's hotel reservations and a big box of, you know, tickets on airplanes. That's fabulous. So my uncle, Italian as he is, says, well, you know, being 60 years old, and she's 60, I'd like to have a woman in my life that's 30 years younger than me. He said, okay, and then now he's 90.
See, fix your wagon. Be careful what you wish for. The moral of the story.
There you go.
So you're going to make, I couldn't help but notice you got something good going over here, too. You're making a dessert today, too?
Yes, I'm cooking off the apples, getting those going. That takes a little bit of time.
Okay.
So we got that going.
Okay.
Then I'll go ahead and start putting in the coarse breadcrumb.
Now, how do you know when to start doing that?
Well, when your mushrooms are sweated and your ham, which is already cooked, you know, it comes together. And then you just start... And then if you get to a point where you think, well, geez, I just put too much breadcrumb, then you've got water sitting here.
Okay.
Just to make it a little bit moist. You want moist.
Right. Okay.
And we cook all that. It goes in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes.
You've got the oven at 325.
325,
okay, which is a little lower temperature than I was expecting. I thought surely I would turn around and it would be on 350.
No, I like 325. Chicken, I like to cook it slow. I don't like to rush it because if you do it, then it starts to dry when it hits that point.
Okay.
And, of course, the top will start to get crusty, and then you don't want that. You want it nice and tender.
All right, so 325, you said 20 to 30 minutes here. And you showed us the technique of the slicing and rolling and all that. So we're expecting great things when that pops out of the oven.
Here's the sauce, and I'll go ahead and put the cherry brandy in after.
Okay.
Then I'll thicken it with the cornstarch to make it better. And then we just pour that over the chicken.
All right, so Chef Robert's going to keep working on the sauce while we head over to check on weather with Jeremy Wheeler. All right, we're back in the Hampton Roadshow kitchen. Our stuffed chicken is in the oven at 325. And now we're working on this wild cherry sauce.
Yes, I bought it frozen in the stores, right where all the fruit department is frozen. Just go ahead and buy that. When you put it in the pan, keep the juice and everything else with it.
Okay.
Bring it to a small simmer, and then when it's getting in there, use your arrowroot with a little bit of water. Put that in to thicken it. Now, it's going to take a while. You don't want to ever thicken it at a high bubble.
Where do you buy arrowroot?
Cornstarch.
It's cornstarch.
Same way. Same thing, yeah. And at the last minute, you're going to put the wine in. Of course, you might want to take it off the stove a little bit. Just put a little bit of the wine or brandy. I'm using cherry brandy. It tastes a lot better. And then just let that cook off by itself. And then it'll be ready to go. Let it sit in just a little bit of heat, and that'll burn and work its way off.
Quite a combination there.
Yeah, now with the Apple Betty, I went ahead and cut the apples and put them in the butter and went ahead and let it work and work and work till it got where I want it.
Yeah.
Then after with the butter, I put the sugar, the brown sugar. Now I'll go ahead and I'll add raisins. You can use the golden raisins if you want, or you can use the regular raisin. Walnuts go in.
Okay.
Why it's called Apple Betty, I don't have a clue.
I don't know.
A little bit of sugar, because the apples, again, might be tart. So you don't like making an apple pie, you put lemon
So
and you
it's not
put
to
whatever.
sweeten, really, just to balance.
Balance it out.
Okay. So what else is in there besides the apples and the butter that's making it so thick? Did you put some cornstarch in there?
Cornstarch and
some
also,
arrowroot?
Arrowroot, cornstarch, put that in. And then I go ahead and I put the brown sugar in to give it that country flavor.
Yeah.
You know, this weekend I had the opportunity to go up to Williamsburg, went to the Virginia winery. I mean, that wine there, that company, I guess, is getting on the cutting edge, and Virginia is going to be known for wine pretty soon.
Yeah, yeah.
More so than anybody else. Then I was lucky enough to go to a wedding that was up there. Had a nice wedding. People that I know, I don't want to, you know, Josh and Kim got married again.
All right.
And they had, you know, I met her mother, and of course, you put them side by side, you don't know which one's the daughter. So that was a nice thing.
Look at all the points you're scoring this morning.
You got to do that.
I'm glad you reminded me of that, though. Josh is going to join us in just a little bit, and now we can congratulate him.
If you haven't had a chance to go to the Virginia winery, please do so. And we're going to serve all their wines on Valentine's Day at the hotel. So
you got something special going on for Valentine's
yes, we
Day,
have
don't you?
got our flyers that we're passing out.
Right.
It's going to be a nice event. You might want to make reservations, because if it was anything like the other holidays, we fill up fast.
These two look like the kids from Twilight. You're a Twilight fan? Vampires and werewolves? I'm serious. You have to check. Look at that. Looks like Edward and Kristen right there. Edward and Kristen will be at the City Dock restaurant. There now to fill up.
Use your breadcrumb on top to give it that crust, like you would if you're going to do macaroni and cheese. You put a little breadcrumb to give it that crustiness. Goes in the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay.
On 325.
All right.
And when you take it out, you just scoop it out with ice cream or whipped cream.
Right.
And then the pounds come on, and everybody's happy, and you have another excuse to...
What's your preference?
I like ice cream.
Me
Ice
too.
cream.
Me too.
Well, that's New England thing, you know.
I know. That's terrific. All right, so you can time this right if you're cooking your, let the chicken get started, put that in, and then that can finish while people are eating. And
there you go. I mean, you want to serve it warm.
Okay, with ice cream.
Yes.
Or whipped cream if that's your thing.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Chef. We'll wait for both of them to finish up. Back in the Hampton Roadshow kitchen, Chef Robert is working on the presentation now of our stuffed chicken. It's out of the oven.
Yes.
Going to put a little sauce on there. And before we get to Josh Haw and beverages, serrated knife is key, right?
Key to cut this so it comes out uniform. The presentation is nice, and then you've got the cherry sauce on top. And the Apple Betty, I'm letting it sit before I scoop it out.
Okay.
It's ready to go.
Looking forward to giving that a try. And congratulations, we've got our newlywed here.
That's right. Thank you. I had a great weekend.
Good. Congratulations to you and Kim. Kim's here too back there.
Thank you. Yes, and
Hi,
our audience today.
All right. So, what would you pair with our dinner and our dessert today?
Well, with the dinner, with the stuffed chicken breast, I selected the Rombauer Merlot, 2006 from Carneros, California. And the region of Carneros is actually just north of San Francisco. It sort of anchors down the bottom part of Napa and Sonoma counties.
Okay.
A beautiful area, gets some great coastal winds coming up, and it's a cooler climate, producing this excellent Merlot. Some of the flavors in the Merlot are black cherry, blackberry, and black currant, so it works really well with this sauce.
The wild cherry sauce, okay.
It is a nice bottle. You're going to spend a little more for it. It retails for about $30, $35, depending where you buy it.
All right, but you're worth it.
That's
every
right.
now and then. I'm curious about the big bottle of lemon juice and what you have going on over
Yes,
there.
it is a little extra lemon juice, probably more than we needed. But today with the Apple Brown Betty, we're going to make a brandy cocktail.
Okay.
So we're going to use apple brandy, Calvados today. And I'm going to make a double order, but for a single order, it's 1.5 ounces. A teaspoon of the lemon juice. And a teaspoon of the grenadine.
Okay. The grenadine, that's kind of like a sweet syrup?
It is sweet cherry.
Okay.
And if you got children, just mix a little grenadine with ginger ale. They love it.
They feel special. All right.
There you go.
Okay.
And make sure it was tight so it doesn't end up all over your shirt.
Good, because, wearing this shirt today was like I was just daring myself to spill. You got enough?
That's right.
Enough
Perfect.
shaking?
Perfect.
Okay. I'm going to let
Ready
you
to
pour.
mix?
It's colorful.
That's right. I'm making these for Kim and my mother-in-law Marietta tonight, who's still in town from Toronto. So
Right.
our drink of the evening with Chef's Apple Brown Betty.
All right. And then is this lime for
Yep.
a little garnish?
I like to add lime. I think it just goes so well with the cherry flavors and the apple. So lemon and lime, I feel always works well with anything apple. So.
All right, lemon, lime, and
cocktails.
apple. All right, sounds like all the fun's at your house tonight.
That's right.
All right,
Come on
we'll
over.
give Josh's address a little bit later in the show. I'm just kidding. And we'll get to try here. And the Apple Brown Betty, you said ice cream or whipped cream?
Whipped cream, yes.
Okay. And we're going to get our stuffed chicken a try as well. All right, looking forward to it. Thanks. We're going to put all of the ingredients for today's recipes, and of course the technique will be at thehamptonroadshow.com, as well as the recipes for the cocktail that Josh made today and the wine he recommends from California. Look at that, how beautiful that turned
Thanks,
out. All right.
That's right, Chef.
We'll hate to wreck it, but we will. because
Okay.
we always do. All right.